What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than I normally do. We're going to be doing a little bit of a rant about supply drops. The reason why I'm deciding to make this right now is because I watched a video yesterday that Drifter made a couple of days ago, and he called it gambling and supply drops in video games. And this video had a lot of points I agreed with, so I'm going to restate what he said and then add a little bit to it. I'll leave a link to his video down in the description if you haven't seen it, just as a little bit of a reference. But this is absolutely a massive problem, but not just with Call of Duty. A lot of people, when they see these videos, just rip on Call of Duty and make it a problem with Call of Duty. Yes, it is a problem in Call of Duty, but it's also a problem in almost every first-person shooter game that comes out today. Just for the people who don't believe me, let's talk about the other games first of all. You look at CSGO, one of the biggest first-person shooters out there right now. It's got crates. Yes, there's no game-changing items in them, however, they're still massive and they make more money off of the crates than they do off of the game itself. If you look at Overwatch, a first-person shooter that has just come out, again, they have loot boxes where you can get aesthetic items. Another game we can look at, Battlefield. Battlefield has had the exact same thing for a really long time, and a lot of people just don't acknowledge this. There's these little boxes every time you level up or something like that. You get them, you can get attachments for weapons and all that kind of stuff. Again, those are game-changing items, not to a huge extent, but still, there are these crates that you can buy that have items that will change your gaming experience in them. Of course, it's not just first-person shooters to blame as well. There's tons of other games with these gambling systems in them as well. You've got Hearthstone, where they have card packs. You've got other mobile games that almost all of them have a form of this gambling. Why? It's exciting. It makes it so you feel like you're winning. Why do you think casinos make so much money? Why do you think there's a city called Las Vegas in the United States that makes more money than pretty much any other city anywhere? The question is, why are so many video game companies changing to this method to make money? And there's two answers. The first answer is that gambling is addictive. Why is it addictive? The same reason why anything else in the world is addictive. It releases chemicals in your brain that you like. Dopamine, serotonin, all of these chemicals in your brain, there's generally a release for them, and that's what you get addicted to. When you smoke a cigarette, you don't get addicted to the taste of the cigarette. Let's be honest, it's disgusting. What you get addicted to is the nicotine, which causes your brain to release dopamine, which you like. Gambling, the reason why people get addicted to it is because the feeling of winning is so good. The adrenaline that's released, the dopamine that's released, the feeling is so good that you forget about all of the bad experiences and you get just the good ones left in your memory. That's the magic of dopamine. It's what makes life enjoyable. The problem with this is that it can be addictive, especially with addictive personalities. That dopamine rush is so good for some people, they get addicted to it and end up spending tons and tons of money on gambling, or in this case, supply drop, crates, loot boxes, whatever you want to call them in whatever game you play. You get addicted to them. So that's one reason why video game companies use this form of making money, but there's another reason and a much, much bigger reason. So this is kind of where you have to forgive the gaming companies, because as a gaming company, it's hard to make money year-round. And what I mean by this is, think about a game release cycle. A perfect example is the Fallout and Skyrim or Elder Scrolls series. Those games are released about every 4 years, and they're Bethesda's big game release. So they make a lot of money once every 4 years. And then they have DLC. DLC was the first way that video game companies started making money year-round. If we look at Call of Duty as an example, they released the game, had 4 DLC releases, and would make money not just at the game release, but 4 times throughout the years. Before that, they'd just be making money every single year when they released that game. Bethesda would be making money once every 4 years, and then when they released DLC. But of course, these are companies. They want to be making money year-round as much as possible, as frequently as possible. Why? Because that means more investments and more people are going to make money for their company. So that's the one thing everyone forgets when talking about this, is that Activision and Treyarch are a company. They have to do things like this to make money, stay on top of their competition, because if they don't, there just won't be another Call of Duty game that gets released the next year and the next year and the next year. So after everything I've said so far, this is a gambling issue. It's gambling in video games, and it's addictive. And the problem is a lot of people, especially playing Call of Duty, are not 18, so gambling should be illegal for them, but it's not directly gambling because the items you get in game are not worth directly money. And then there's the other argument that Call of Duty is a mature game and only 17-year-olds should be playing it, but still, we all know there's a lot of people younger than 17 playing Call of Duty. The problem is, as of right now, this is the way gaming companies are making most of their money. If you take Call of Duty for an example, they're making more money off of supply drops than they did of the original original game sales. This is insane, and of course, this also means this isn't going to stop anytime soon. And not just in Call of Duty, it's not going to stop in Battlefield, it's not going to stop in Counter-Strike, it's not going to stop in Hearthstone, it's not going to stop in Overwatch, and it's definitely not going to stop in mobile games. Point is, we're gonna have to get used to this. And trust me, I get it, it sucks, and people in the gaming community, when DLC first started, they didn't like DLC, they thought you should get the whole game when the game came out. People hated the pre-order bonuses, and nothing changed, and now they hate the supply drops, they hate the crates, they hate the loot boxes. But hey, this is how video game companies are making money, and I really don't think it's going to change anytime soon, and that sucks. Why does it suck? It sucks because we are so used to paying $60 for a video game. You pay the $60, you get the game. If you want to spend extra money on it, you can, let's say, spend $15, get some DLC, some additional content for it, and play that content. The problem comes in is if especially we look at Call of Duty, you're paying $60 for the game. On top of that, you're paying $15 for every DLC at a minimum, which is another $60, so all of a sudden you're doubling the price of the game with DLC, and then on top of that, they want us to buy supply drops. All of a sudden, that game that was originally $60 is now going to be more expensive than the actual console or PC that you're playing it on, which is ridiculous. So it 100% sucks that this is the way video games are going, but there is a way we can make the best of it. And what I mean by this is that the supply drop system is shit. It is the worst system out of any game I've talked about as far as gambling systems work. It is horrible. It is the worst. There is no other way of saying it. The supply drop system in Black Ops 3 is horrible. But of course, I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually going to give you a solution for this, and that's the problem nowadays. People complain about things but don't give a solution for it, so how is it supposed to get fixed in the long run? Today, we're going to be giving two solutions, two big solutions that would really fix the way supply drops work in Black Ops 3. So the first thing is, and I think this is probably the most important one, is all these other games we've talked about, the Counter-Strike, the Hearthstone, the Overwatches, they have currency systems, and you could say crypto keys is a currency system as well, but the problem with the currency system in Black Ops 3 is you can't directly buy items. I can't go out and say, well, I've got 500 crypto keys, let's go and buy the Peacekeeper. Let's go and buy the R70 Ajax. You can't do that. There is only getting lucky with supply drops. There's no actually going out and asserting yourself and getting these items. So how do we fix this? And I've said this since Black Ops 3 has come out. We need a marketplace. We need a way to buy direct items in Black Ops 3 using crypto keys, or hell, I don't even care. You could use COD points, but we need a way to directly buy items. And the other thing, and this has only become an issue more recently, is the amount of things that they are putting in your regular supply drop is too much. For example, there's 26 weapons in Black Ops 3, something like that, and every time they release one camo, that is 26 new items in a supply drop. That's a huge issue because every time they release new stuff, it makes your odds of getting weapons, melee weapons, and ranged weapons worse. And this has actually been a problem in other games like Counter-Strike, Overwatch, even Hearthstone, a game that's not a first-person shooter, and they've found ways to fix it. I don't know if Call of Duty and Treyarch are just too lazy to fix it, but there's a very simple solution. All they need to do is that when they release new content, release a new type of supply drop. I don't care what you call them. You can call them July supply drops. You can call them August supply drops. You can call them special supply drops. I don't really care, but what they're doing right now is oversaturating our rare supply drop and making it next to impossible to get the items you actually want. Therefore, people are spending thousands of dollars to get one item because of how oversaturated the supply drops actually are. So what they can do to fix this is every time they release new items, just release a new type of supply drop. It's going to get more people to buy those supply drops, which is just a good business move, and they're going to be actually more likely to get the items they want. And when they get the items they want, they get a dopamine rush, they get more addicted to your supply drops, and all of a sudden, every time you release a new type of supply drops, people are going to be spending more money. So Treyarch, if you're listening to this, it's not only going to help out the players, it's going to help out your bottom line and the dollars in your pocket. So this solution is good for both parties. Just don't be so lazy and put it in the goddamn game. So it helps out both parties. So just as a quick recap, this is a problem in many games, not just Call of Duty. The problem is that Call of Duty does it worse than all of these games, and it needs two things to improve on this. A marketplace where you can directly buy items with either crypto keys or COD points, preferably crypto keys because that's the actual thing you buy in-game. Also, they need different types of cases, so the one case, the one supply drop that they have right now isn't so oversaturated with the items that they just keep putting in that same supply drop. I do think that this problem will eventually resolve itself in either two ways. People will just get sick of microtransactions and stop buying these things, or if that does not happen, what's going to happen is with the gambling system, someone like the government is going to step in and create some sort of legislation that's going to screw over game companies that do this enough that it'll stop. But that's not going to be anytime soon, so we're going to have to get used to this for the long haul. I'm sorry, I wish there was a better thing I could say about it, but we can hope for better supply drops, we can hope for a marketplace, and we can hope for change to hopefully make the system better and make the games better in turn. So for those of you who are going to ask down in the comments, are supply drops going to be in Infinite Warfare? I almost 100% guarantee they are. Gaming companies, and more specifically Activision, makes far too much money off of these systems not to put them in their game. I hate the answer just as much as you do, but that's all I can say. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and trust me, whenever I make one of these videos, it gets just a ton of dislikes just because people are so salty on the subject. So if you could hit that like button, it would really help me out. Maybe cancel out some of those trolls and some of those people that just like hitting that dislike button because they hear the word supply drops or Infinite Warfare. So it'd be great if you could hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week, and if that sounds like something that interests you, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Also, you can check out my Twitch, Twitter, and Let's Play channel down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace out.